Hi everybody, so this is another not live video because I'm actually at work today, but what I wanted to do was show you this adorable Merry Moose stamp set that is in the holiday catalog and has this amazing little coordinating punch with it. So I wanted to kind of make just like a rustic retirement card. This was actually a request I had from a friend. So this one is kind of for somebody in specific. Oh, words are hard today. So the first thing I'm going to do is I've already embossed my background with the Woodland embossing folder, and I'm just going to sponge it a little bit. So this is going to give it a little bit more definition. So I'm going to just take my crumb cake, so we're working tone on tone here, and I'm just going to lightly dab at the edges and kind of over some of those branches. I'm not being too particular about how and where the ink goes, because again, this is kind of that, we're going for that rustic look anyways, so if I smear something somewhere, so be it. And again, just over all of these tree trunks and branches, giving it a bit of that distressed, and of course, because it's embossed, it's actually going to hit those high points of the embossed image more than the background and give a little bit more definition to that background image, which is exactly what I was looking for. Okay, so we're going to put this aside. I'm going to come back and do some more sponging in a little bit, I think. Of course, when you're doing something rustic, you always need to bring out the buffalo check stamp. This is like the ultimate rustic look. Now, normally with background stamps, you're going to take your big F block and mount them up. I'm going to do this a little bit differently because I actually find it easier to deal with these big stamps upside down. So I'm going to ink it up with my Memento so that I'm going to do black, and I'm going to do it on that real red. It's probably shaking the camera like crazy. I have to start working on a more stable table. This table is a little bit rickety. That's what you get for getting the cheapest table IKEA has. All right. Oh, and bonus dog hairs. And then I'm going to lay my cardstock on top. And then I'm going to use my F block to actually push down on the cardstock. So I'm kind of doing it backwards. All right, let's see what that looks like. Ta-da! That is exactly what I wanted that to come out as. So happy when a plan comes together. Now, this is the full width of the card. As you can see, it's 5.5 inches across. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to tear this to give myself kind of a distressed edge. Now, whenever I do that, I actually want to take the piece that is going to be facing the front of the card, and I'm going to pull that back. Does that make sense? So that actually leaves a little bit of a torn edge that I can see. You'll see what I mean in a second here. So I'm gonna just tear, not in a perfectly straight line. So you can see where I've pulled back on the paper, I see a little bit of the cardstock there, whereas on the other edge, I don't. That edge is on the back side of this one. So depending on what look you're going for with your torn edge, you can use the different sides. This one, I'm going to do some sponging as well. So back to my crumb cake and just distressing that already distressed edge. Okay. The other thing you can do with these curved or torn edges rather, I'm going to make it more curved, is take your bone folder and run it along the edge to kind of curl it a little bit so that it sticks out a bit more when you stick it down. All right, I'm going to use my tear and tape to stick this down so that I get a nice strong base for my card. So just 2 strips, one along the top, one along the bottom. Do my little dog ears here. And I'm gonna stick this right along the bottom of my card and then pull out the strips. There we go. So there is the base. Oh, that back grid paper is just scooting all over the place. Okay, now we're gonna do a little bit more stamping. Now I've got the Merry Moose stamp set. So I'm going to, because I want my little raccoon in here because he is just too cute. Put him there. And then I've got these 2 trees as well. And I'm gonna just kind of put those in the background. I guess I need clear blocks for this. Okay, so I've got my little raccoon, and I've got my tree. Oh, and I have another tree here too. Probably want that little tree too. We'll put that one on there. Okay, so I'm going to do my little raccoon. I'm going to do in soft suede. Stamp him in the corner there. And then I've got my mossy meadow. And I'm going to do my trees a couple times. I'm going to do one, and then I'm not going to re-ink, and I'm going to do another. Then I'm going to do the same thing with the little tree. I'm going to do one, and then I'll do another, and I'll do another. Then I kind of get a fuller forest without really a ton of work. Okay, because everything is distressed in this card, I'm going to sponge the edge, and this is my vanilla cardstock. I'm going to sponge the edge with crumb cake again. And I'm going to bring it in a little bit further than just the edges, just to get rid of some of that glaring light space. I want the focus kind of to be more on our little Mr. Raccoon there. There we go. Now I'm going to add a little bit of color to our raccoon as well. So if I can find one, I'm going to use a blender pen. And I'm going to use just that same soft suede. I'm going to squeeze. And now I've got some ink to pick up there. And I'm going to add some color to that log. It's not perfect. I don't want to add too much because I don't want the paper to pill up. But I'm just giving it a little bit of texture with that color there. And then the little raccoon face, I'm gonna color around the eyes with the soft suede, and then I'm gonna use crumb cake for his little body because I do want him to be a different color than the log. Or her. I guess this could be a girl raccoon too. I'm not going to assume the gender of my raccoon. I'm sure somebody out there could tell me by the markings or the characteristics of this raccoon whether it was a male or a female raccoon. Because I do think that raccoons for the most part do subscribe to binary gender structure. Okay, there we go. So I've got my little forest scene there. Now I need dimensional. So my dimensionals are all over here. I'm going to pop a bunch of them onto this. Not quite that many. trash bin already? Okay. So there is my little forest scene popped up on Dimensionals. But I'm nowhere near done yet. Don't worry, because I do have my Moosey Moose. And I'm going to stamp my Moosey Moose a couple of times. So I'm going to need a couple of clear blocks here. So I've got my outline of my moose, and I have my solid of my moose. And then I have some crumb cake paper here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to stamp him, or her. No, I guess this is a him with those antlers. This is a him. Gonna stamp him like that in soft suede. That face is just hilarious. If you've ever been to Northern Ontario, you know that they have some of the derpiest moose crossing signs, and that's what this moose reminds me of. Just his little face is hilarious. Okay, that's a little bit dark on my crumb cake, so I'm gonna do this again. I'm gonna stamp in soft suede, and then maybe I want to clean this. Where's my scrub here? I'm going to clean this stamp first so that I get a cleaner impression. Sometimes when photopolymer stamps are new, they kind of collect a little bit too much lint and they've got some oil on them, so they're just not as clean an impression as you could get. Okay, so I'm going to stamp once off on there, on my crumb cake, and then on here. Oh, that's much better. So it's just kind of a little bit of a subtle hint of another shade there. All right, and this part is so exciting. I literally have not used this punch yet. I'm just so excited for this. So I'm gonna line up my moose. And I have, oh, where did it go? There it went. I have a little punched out moose. It's so exciting. I'm going to sponge the edges a little bit of this too. Now, complicated shapes like this are really hard to sponge because it's really hard to get the sponge into all of the little creases. So maybe I'll just do this. All right. Now we're going to dimensionalize this part, and pop it onto my card front. Please tell me this is not the cutest little moose ever. Okay, we do have a little bit more stamping to do because we want this to be a retirement card. So I've got my itty bitty greetings here. I'm gonna do enjoy your retirement. And I'm gonna stamp that onto this strip of Fairy Vanilla. And we'll do this. Oh no, I'm gonna do that Mossy Meadow. Enjoy your retirement. There we go. And then I'm just going to take my snips and then, of course, like everything, not the Mossy Meadow, the crumb cake, I'm going to sponge the edges of this. There we go. Okay. Where did my dimensionals go? And now I just need to figure out where I want my little greeting to go. but I'm not done yet. There's one more thing that this card is missing, and that's some kind of shiny embellishment. So what I'm gonna go with for this one is I've got the designer elements here, the metal ones. I've got a copper one, and I'm gonna put the copper one right on there. There we go. Look at that. How perfect is that? A little rustic retirement card. I know that this is going to be very well received by the person that is receiving it, and I hope you liked it too. The Moose stamp set and punch are not available yet. They will be available if you're not a demonstrator in September. If you want it before then, you're going to have to join and become a demonstrator. So you can go to thecraftymedic.com. There's some information about joining my team there. Or if you want a holiday catalog so you can see everything that is in there, this set and others, you can go ahead and do that as well on thecraftymedic.com. You can shop for some of the other supplies. On the right hand side, there is a shop now link. There's a host code, so you get some goodies when you order. And I hope that you have a good day and happy crafting. And I will see you on Saturday. And I can't remember if I'm going to be live or not, but I will be posting something on Saturday at 3 o'clock, something crafty. Have a good week. Happy stamping.